Joey this side. Welcome to Joey's Tech. I am back with a problem which I'm sure you are going to enjoy learning. The problem is find if n people can vote on two voting machines. Now, the level of this problem is advanced, but if your basics are right, then solving this problem will be a piece of cake for you. Don't worry, I'll explain this problem step by step, even the intuition part, because that is going to help you develop the ability to find the solutions of such kind of problems on your own. Before we begin solving the problem, I request you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet and hit the bell icon because that impacts my ability in a direct manner. When you hit the subscribe button, it's motivating. When you hit the bell icon, it's inspiring. Now let's see the problem statement of this problem right away. See what the first statement of this problem is. There are two voting machines in a polling booth. Okay, so there is a polling booth and there are only two voting machines there. Now there are n people in line to vote. Alright, so the number of people which are about to vote is n. Now it's a variable. The number will be coming soon. Don't you worry. The ith person takes AI time on a voting machine. So out of these n people, I'm talking about any person. Let's say if there are three people and I'm talking about the second person. So there is a specified time which the second person takes on the voting machine while he casts his vote. Now, X is the time for which the two voting machines are up. Now the machines are not up all day. Okay, they are operational for some time only and X is that time. All right. So with all this data, you need to find out if these n people can finish voting or not. So that, all right. So n is given as 3. We are going to use this data. So we have 3 people in line to vote. There are 2 machines, remember, and these are the times. So the first person is going to take 3 minutes. All right. The second person is going to take 5 minutes and the third person is going to take 2 minutes. Okay. The value of X is 5. That means the 2 machines are operational only for 5 minutes. All right. They are not going to be operational after 5 minutes from now. Okay. So we need to find, can all the 3 people vote? Now check this. We have machine 1 and machine 2. These are the voting machines. All right. Now you remember that P1 takes 3 minutes, P2 takes 5 minutes and P3 takes 2 minutes. All right. And the time for which both the machines are operational is 5 minutes. Okay. Now when we have machine 1 and machine 2, then P1 goes to vote on machine 1, P2 goes to vote on machine 2. Remember the time limit is 5 minutes. So P2 takes the entire 5 minutes. Okay, he usually takes 5 minutes to cast a vote on a voting machine. So he's going to take his 5 minutes and then P1 here, he takes 3 minutes to cast a vote generally. So he's going to take 3 minutes. Now, when his 3 minutes are over, he's going to step aside and P3 is going to pitch in to cast his vote. So P3 is going to take 2 minutes while P2 is still voting. The point I'm trying to make is that by the time these two machines are operational, these 3 people will be able to vote, because you can see that these 2 people are finishing it in 5 minutes and this third person is finishing it in 5 minutes. So the answer to the problem will be yes. Now we have to solve this problem. We have to formulate an algorithm using dynamic programming. That we are going to do it in our framework, where I'm also going to tell you how to approach towards solving this problem. So keep watching this video and let's switch to the framework now. You can see here I have put down the information given to us. So here X is 5, which is the time for which the two voting machines are going to be up. Then we have N, which is 3. That means the number of people. And here we have the T array, which contains the times taken by the different people to vote. Now, one thing which comes directly to my mind, and it is a very common logic, is that if I sum all of these times over here, and if the sum comes less than the time for which the machines are going to be up, then I can say that yes, the people can vote, right? So let's find the sum. So what the sum is going to be? It's going to be 5 plus 3 plus 2, or 3 plus 5 plus 2. So it is coming out as 10. Our x is 5 here. So 5 is pretty much less than 10. So we can't say based on this information that 3 people which take these times to vote can vote on 2 machines. So like we saw in the previous slide that there are 2 machines, and we saw that P1 and P3 can vote on 1 machine, and P2 can vote on machine number 2. What I see here is that the maximum combined voting time for the first machine is 5. All right. And if I subtract this 5 from the total voting time, and if I subtract this 5 from this 10, which is the combined voting times of all the individuals, then I am going to get the combined voting time of the remaining individuals other than P1 and P3. In this case, it is just P2. But the point I'm trying to make is that if I find the maximum combined time for the first machine, which also has the allowable time limit as 5, then using that sum and this final sum, I can get the maximum combined voting time of the remaining individuals. Now, if that time, which in this case is 5, is less than the allowable time limit, okay, which in this case is going to be of M2, then that's it. The 3 people can vote, right? So what I'm trying to say, see, I have got these 2 people, okay, and the combined sum is coming as 5. Now subtract 5 from 10, I get 5. Now that 5, is it less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is less than equal to 5. Yes, so it all fits in then, all right? And then we can say, yes, the 3 people can vote. Now over here for machine 1, the time limit is also 5, and we are going to find the maximum sum from this set of integers. So I can clearly see knapsack problem algorithm here. All right, so what happens in a knapsack problem? A thief enters with a bag which can contain items of a particular weight limit, all right, and then there are different items available to steal of different weights and different prices. He has to choose those items such that the combined weight of the items chosen is less than or equal to the maximum weight of the bag, and he gets the maximum combined value out of it. All right, so that's what we are doing here. So it is always going to be less than this 5 when we are going to find the maximum sum over here, and subtracting that sum from this total sum is going to give us the sum of the combined voting time of the other subset of the data, the subset 2 of the set. And if that is less than or equal to x, then we can say yes, these 3 people can vote. All right, so I have repeated it twice. I am sure that you have got some idea now. So if you are still confused, then I just want you to rewatch this particular section. All right, so we are going to apply the knapsack problem here now. Okay, so here is the knapsack problem set up over here. We are going to quickly solve it. If you want to see a detailed explanation of the knapsack problem, 01 knapsack problem, you are welcome to click the link above, and I have also given the link to it in the description box. So we are going to start from here. This is going to be 0, all right, because 1 is less than 3. Okay, so here it is going to be 0 because 2 is less than 3. Now over here 3 is equal to 3, so what we are going to do, we are going to go one cell up, and then we are going to subtract this 3 from this 3. So we are going to get over here 0 plus this 3 is going to be the value of this cell. And yes, I forgot to tell you that we are going to compare this value with this value, and we are going to pick the maximum. All right, everything I have explained in the knapsack problem video. If you want to see it, you are welcome to pause it right now. You can watch that. You can come back and resume it. Okay, so over here 4 is greater than 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go one cell up, then 3 subtracted from 4 is going to take me here, and I'm going to add 3 to this value. So I'm going to get 3. I'm going to compare that with this value to find out the maximum one, and 3 comes out as the maximum one. All right, so over here 5 is greater than 3, so I'm going to go one cell up, then 3 subtracted from 5 is going to take me here. I am adding 0 to 3, I compare it with this 0, and I get 3 over here. Now coming over here, see 5 is greater than 1, much greater than 1, so it's going to be 0. All right, and this 0 I am taking from here. Okay, so whenever this value is lesser than this value or vice versa, like this value is greater than this value, then we are going to take the value from the cell above. All right, over here 2 is pretty much less than 5, so I'm going to take the value from here. It's going to be 0 over here. Then 3 is also less than 5, so it's going to be 3. Okay, I'm taking the value from the top. Then 4 is less than 5, so I'm going to take this value, populate here, so it's going to be 3. And 5 is equal to 5, so here we have a chance. What we are going to do, we are going to go one cell above, and 5 minus 5 is going to bring me over here 0. So 0 plus 5 is going to give me 5. I am going to compare it with this value. So 5 and 3, which is maximum? 5 is maximum. So let me put 5 over here. Okay, cool. Now coming over here, 1 is less than 2, so I am going to get 0 over here. All right, now 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go one cell above. I subtracted 2 from this cell, so I get 0. I add 2 to it, so I get the value as 2. I compare it with this value, so 0 and 2, which is maximum? Clearly 2. Okay, we are going very good. Now this 2 is less than this 3, or this 3 is greater than this 2. So what we are going to do, we are going to go one cell above. 2 subtracted from 3 takes me here. I am going to add 2 to this value again. All right, and compare it with this value. So I'm getting 2 from here, and I compare it with 3, which is maximum, obviously 3. So I'm going to put 3 over here. Okay, so we have moved to 4. Now 4 is greater than 2. Again, 2 subtracted from 4 is going to take me here. I add 2 to it, so value will become 2. I compare it with 3, which is maximum, 3 again. So this also means that if we had the maximum allowable time limit as 4 minutes, which is not in this case, I am giving you an example, then the maximum sum that we would have got would be 3. Okay, so it is not the case. All right, it's just a sub problem I'm talking about, an example to help you understand. Now we move here. Clearly 5 is greater than 2, so we go one cell above, and then 2 subtracted from 5 is going to take me here, so the value is 3. I add 2 to it, it gives me 5. Now I compare this 5 with this 5. Hey, both are same, so there is no question of maximum or minimum here. I am going to populate 5 over here, which is the maximum sum that I am going to get for machine 1. All right, through the knapsack problem. Okay, so we got the subset 1 maximum combined voting time as 5. Now what is going to be the maximum combined voting time for subset 2? That means for the remaining individuals. So it is going to be 10 minus 5. So that is going to come out as 5. Now this is a key measure. If this 5 is less than or equal to the allowable time limit, then yes, the 3 people can vote. So here it is 5. it is equal to 5. So we can say that the three people with these voting times 3, 5 and 2 can vote on two machines whose uptime is 5 minutes. All right, now we are going to check the algorithm. The algorithm will be of knapsack problem only. So here is the algorithm. This algorithm belongs to the knapsack problem. It says if ti is less than equal to j, then sum ij is going to be the maximum of sum I minus 1 j or sum I minus 1 j minus ti plus ti. Else, sum ij is simply going to be the value of the cell at the top, which is sum I minus 1 j. The time complexity of this algorithm is going to be Ox multiplied with n. So with this we have come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you learned from this video. I look forward to help you with algorithms and programming. Thanks for watching this video. Do give it a thumbs up, do subscribe, do hit the bell icon and do share this video. Only for this video. Goodbye.